The NBA just dropped a bombshell. Paul George has been suspended 25 games for violating the league's anti-drug program. This hits right in the middle of the 2025-26 season for the Philadelphia 76ers, and it's a wild twist for a guy who was supposed to be the missing piece in Philly. The specific drug or substance involved in Paul George's 25-game suspension hasn't been publicly disclosed by the NBA or Paul George himself. From all reports, including official NBA announcements, ESPN, The Athletic, and others dated January 31, 2026, the league stated he violated the terms of the NBA/NBP anti-drug program but did not reveal the nature of the violation or the exact substance. In his statement shared by Shams Charania and others, George said, "Over the past few years, I've discussed the importance of mental health, and in the course of recently seeking treatment for an issue of my own, I made the mistake of taking an improper medication. I take full responsibility for my actions and apologize to the Sixers organization, my teammates, and the Philly fans for my poor decision-making during this process." He framed it as an improper medication tied to mental health treatment, not performance-enhancing drugs, PEDs, like steroids or HGH, which typically carry different penalties or contexts. The 25-game length aligns with a first-time violation under the CBA, but no further details on the substance, whether it was a prescription med not approved for use, something recreational, or otherwise, have emerged. The NBA often keeps specifics private for privacy reasons, especially when mental health is involved, so we might not get the exact name unless George or another source shares more later. Speculation online, weed mushrooms, exists but isn't confirmed anywhere reliable. Either way, it's a stupid decision by Paul George. Bro signed a max deal to come to Philly and be the third star next to Embiid and Maxey. And instead, he's delivering mid-season vibes on and off the court. Averaging 16 points this year. That's not superstar wing territory, that's solid role player who gets paid like a superstar territory. Dude went from Clippers co-star to Sixers salary cap anchor faster than he disappears in the playoffs. Injuries, check. Knee surgery, missed games, rock bottom last season. Now this, claims he took improper medication while dealing with mental health treatment. Look, mental health is serious and deserves respect, no jokes there. But if your treatment ends up with a 25-game ban, maybe next time read the label. Or consult the NBA's banned substances list first. This is the same guy who once said he was focused on winning. Now he's focused on the bench until March. Playoff P, more like suspended S, or excused absence PG. The man's career is a highlight reel of great regular seasons followed by vanishing acts, big contracts, and now this. At 35 on a $212 million deal, he's turning into the NBA's version of that friend who always has an excuse for why they can't hang out. Paul, if you're watching, get healthy, get back, and prove the haters wrong. But right now, this is peak mid-season Paul George, costing the team cash games and a little bit of dignity. Does the suspension hurt or help the Sixers going forward? Short answer, it hurts more than it helps, but it's not a total death blow. PG has been solid when healthy, 16 points per game, good three-point shooting, 38%, and steals. The Sixers are 16-11 with him in the lineup versus 10-10 without. Losing him for 25 games means he's eligible to return March 25th with only about 10 regular season games left. That's basically benching a starter for the playoff push. Kelly Oubre or others will get more minutes. But their downgrades in shooting, playmaking, and defense. If Philly's chasing a top 6 seed, this could drop them in the standings and make the play-in more likely. Helps a tiny bit. Financially, the forfeited $11.7 million salary counts partially against the luxury tax, dropping Philly closer to the line. They're only $1.3 million over now. It gives the team flexibility to sign a 16th man or make small trades. On the court, if the team gels without him, Embiid, Maxey, or even the sensational rookie VJ Edgecombe can carry, it might expose that PG's mid-production wasn't carrying them anyway. But overall, missing a key rotation guy in a tight East race isn't ideal. What's next for Paul George and the Sixers? He plays the final stretch, depending on if Philly makes it the playoffs or play-in. The statement shows he's owning it and focusing on mental/physical recovery. Good move. But at 35 with injury history, big contract, and now this. Trade rumors could heat up in the offseason if the Sixers flame out. Buyout? Unlikely with that money. He needs to finish strong to rebuild trust. Sixers, rally around Embiid and Maxey. They were already contending without full health, now they have to prove they can do it short-handed. If they stay afloat, this becomes a character-building blip. If they slide, questions about the Big Three and that $212 million deal get louder. Athletic Avengers, what do you think? Does PG bounce back? Or is this the beginning of the end? Drop your takes below, smash that like if you're roasting with me, and subscribe for more NBA heat. Let's go!